All right, guys. This particular one is about the speech of Mr. Peter Obi on June 12th. Like I said before, yesterday we were supposed to present all this and we could not because the stream had failed. But on this particular one, I want you guys to listen to Fayose, what Fayose have to say when he was asked by Sheon on channels that between Peter Obi and many others, who would you support in 2027? The response from Fayose will shock you, not be small thing. Then we'll follow up with what Mr. Peter Obi have to say concerning June 12th. Do we really have democracy? I don't know. You're going to be taking that. Then we'll end it up with Magnus Oraka on his message to Peter Obi. Let's talk this together.
If Peter Obi, and I'm imagining that he wants to run again in 2027, Peter Obi or any other person
Can I ask you one question, Shehu? Can I ask you, have I even announced who I will be supporting in 2027?
Governor Fayose, let me give you a scenario. There are those who are tipping in your party. They are saying Sheyi Makinde will be a good presidential candidate. If you have a Sheyi Makinde, a Peter Obi, and Bola Tinubu on the ballot in 2027, where will you cast your ballot?
Let me say to you, I have, when I saw an advert running on the social media, with all due respect to Governor Makinde, I forwarded it to him. And he called me. And he said he's not running. And he said he doesn't know anything about those flyers. And there were some guys, some boys flying it. He has not told me otherwise. And let me say to you, I will not put words in his mouth. I would rather believe whatever he tells me as a brother. And he told me that he's not going to be the person that will be used against the Yoruba man as president. I stand to be corrected. And I stand there to say that Governor Makinde, by what he has told me, will accept anything changes.
What about Peter Obi? Considering what is happening in the country today, the groaning of a lot of Nigerians about the situation in the country, the economic situation in the country, there are those who say that they're faced with a lot of challenges, and perhaps under the Bola Tinubu's leadership, the Nigerians have seen a range of policy shift, which immediately is impacting negatively on their pocket, and perhaps people will be thinking of an alternative. In your mind, with what we have on the ground, is Peter Obi looking like an alternative, an option for you?
Let me take you back to the days of Obasanjo and Olufalaye. People said Olufalaye will have done better. Obasanjo spent 8 years. Yeah, when I came, they said he was an angel. He passed. We had the Jonathan. Everybody came. Well, Jonathan must go. We will not agree. An angel is coming. That angel was the Buhari. Did Buhari do well? I'm not going to answer yes or no. But the question I want to tell you is that there's no day you will satisfy people of this country or any country at all. That is life. You own nothing. Your wife is not your own. It's your wife until you pass. Your house is your own until you pass. It belongs to somebody else. Today, you are not honorable until you leave. People are now saying, Jonathan, come back. The same Jonathan they drove many years past. It is best to allow an Asiwaju to conclude his tenure, complete his tenure, because this is a southern slot, and let him fix the country, go as far as he can go. We go back to the north. The problem that did not start today cannot end today. Everybody just try to make it better.
You are supporting President Tinubu for a second term just because he's a southerner.
It is the lack of respect for the rule of law that will make us to be celebrating a democracy day in Nigeria in 2025, where you have an INEC that violates the constitution of Nigeria, violates the Electoral Act, violates even INEC's guideline, destroying two core principles of democracy: free and fair elections and rule of law. INEC Mahmood Yakubu, a professor, continues to disrespect the rule of law and violates Nigeria's constitution, refusing to register new political parties as allowed by law. And nobody's talking about it. We are just talking and keeping quiet and shifting behind. On a day like this, these are the things that we should be focused on. Who are the agencies and strong men politicians or agents of strong men politicians that continue to desecrate democracy or the principles of democracy in Nigeria? Number one on that list today is Mahmood Yakubu. I rate him number one ahead of even Tinubu. Because if a Mahmood Yakubu, as the chairman of INEC, does the right thing, it will be impossible for a Tinubu to rig any elections in Nigeria.
Democracy and a better country. May his souls and all souls of faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Today, June 12th, is slated as Democracy Day. Most unfortunately, in our present state, our dear country, Nigeria, cannot be justifiably classified as a democratic country. The vital indicators of democracy are noticeably absent. Some do not even exist. Democracy is said to be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Yet, none of these three measures exist in our democracy today. Rules, regulations, requirements to participate in election or be elected for are not followed. Consequently, people who are not qualified and ought to be ab initio be disqualified are now holding public offices. As we mark June 12th, a day symbolizing the struggle for true democracy in Nigeria, it is deeply troubling that under the present administration, in a short span of 2 years, our nation has witnessed a broad erosion of democratic principles. There has been a corresponding decline in security and the quality of life for millions of Nigerians. We have traversed from rigged elections to collapsing social service, from soaring poverty to rising corruption, and from seemingly stable economy to parlous economy. It is most troubling that in 2 years in office, the present government has brought our nation to the point where our leaders now celebrate and endorse failure, lies, and propaganda. The government today, rather than show genuine accountability and measurable progress, focuses on manipulating the narratives, gaslighting the public, shifting blame, and weaponizing governance. Meanwhile, Nigerians live in a worsening and worrisome insecurity, widespread corruption, hunger, and general despondency. There are no clear benchmarks for measuring tangible development as we continue to witness the collapse of key indicators like education, healthcare, and poverty alleviation, which are the parameters for measuring national progress. Simple comparison of what has happened in the past 2 years now relies on propaganda and misinformation to mark misgovernance. Our country today can best be described as a nation declining fast in all its facets. The security of lives and property has worsened, and the rule of law is virtually non-existent. These are hard, verifiable facts. On May 29, 2023, when this government was sworn in to office, Nigerian gross domestic product, GDP, was $364 billion. As of today, it has declined to $188 billion, a decline of almost 50%. Nigerian per capita income was $1,640 as at May 2023. Today, it has dropped to about $835, a devastating decline of about 50%. Nigerians living in poverty have increased from 38.9% to 54%. Within this period, 129 million Nigerians now live below poverty line. The World Bank recent report stated that 75% of Nigerians in rural areas now live below poverty, and the situation is even more in urban areas. Our education sector has deteriorated significantly. Today we have 18.3 million children out of school, the highest in the world. The quality of education has deteriorated. Our children are now being taught science without science lab and computer without computers. They are now taking exams in darkness with candles. There's not even glitches in the exams. Health services have worsened drastically. The National Primary Health Care Development Agency declared that less than 20% of over 30,000 primary health care centers across the nation are functional. I've even recently visited some where there are delivery rooms without toilets.
Dear Peter Obi, I hope this video gets to you. I am one of your greatest fans, and I think everybody who have watched me will attest to that. And I noticed that one of the assets that you have is the ability to communicate your aspiration and intent for Nigeria. But I want to tell you something. I really, really want to tell you something. Henceforth, please, you want to talk to Nigerians, we want to see some sense of authority, some sense of forcefulness, F-O-R-C-E, forcefulness. Because people are beginning to think you are weak, or because of the way you talk, or This time you need to exhibit a sense of persona that radiates some sort of a bit of element of radicalism. Nigeria is not a place for all this diplomacy. No. The situation of Nigeria greatly needs radicalism. Let's begin to see a form of forcefulness in the way you talk. Please, I don't know people who are managing you, but if I am among the team of people that are managing, I will tell you, from now, start punching fists, start being serious. See all those things that are doing. Soludo is my professor. I'm a trader. It won't work. It won't work now. You have to speak radically. You have Aluta. You have to speak in an Aluta format. That's what I'm saying. Please begin to exhibit an Aluta mentality when you are speaking. There is sense. Some of us intellectuals, we connect with what you are saying, but the larger majority of Nigerians are illiterates. The larger majority of Nigerians will not connect to the intellectual depth of what you are saying. And they constitute the greater number of votes that will come. So I tell you, please, whoever is watching this video and is in the inner caucus surrounding Peter Obi, tell him. If you are talking now, whether it's in a book launch, whether it is in a whatever, let us see that authority, that Aluta. Punch your fist, keep a serious face, don't smile. Let us see that the deplorable state of Nigeria is expressed in your face. Now, this advice may seem as non-intelligent, but trust me when I tell you that the level of my IQ and my observation is top-notch. Please, Peter Obi, change your oratory style. My name is Magnus Oraka. Please follow this page and share this post now.
The failed effort to create a one-party state placed progressive political party forces on a trajectory to form the APC. It put me on the trajectory which has brought me before you today. I dare not such a favor to any political adversary by repeating the same mistake of political overreach. A one-party state is not in the oven, nor should it ever be. That said, we would be guilty of political malpractice if we close our door on those from other parties who now seek to join the APC. For me, I would not say try your best to put your house in order. I will not help you to do so either. It is indeed a pleasure to witness you in such a disarray.
On your Monday we shall stand. On your Monday we shall stand.
On assuming office, my team and I moved to reform our ailing economy. We introduced fundamental reforms to correct structural imbalances that prevented maximum growth. We are already seeing results. The GDP grew by 3.4% in 2024, with Q4 hitting 4.6%, the highest quarter of growth in over a decade. Inflation is easing gradually, steadying the price of food staples like rice and beans. Our net foreign reserve have increased fivefold, and the Naira exchange rate has stabilized.
You see, 2027 still far away. Everybody though the campaign already start. I never seen this kind of thing before. To be honest, I never seen him before. It still they shock me. What do I have to say? My people, tonight we'll be expatiating on what happened yesterday because I need June 12. My people, I appreciate every one of you. This is NAIJA Watch Media. Join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's continue to talk about the things that affect you and I. Take care, guys. I'm bye for now.